The school teacher gives each of the 3 children a notebook and a pencil, and asks them to write something for the next day. The next day, all 3 children place their respective notebooks and pencils on the teacher's desk. Without opening the notebooks, the teacher understands which child has written the most. But can you figure out which one among A, B, and C has written the most? Look at the second child's pencil. It has been used the most, which means he must have written the most. The teacher opens his notebook and indeed, he had written the most. Let's hop on to the next riddle.
Tom was traveling on a train with his dad. The train was running at a speed of 120 km/h. Tom tosses a coin, and the coin lands in his hand. But the next day, when Tom tosses the coin while riding a bicycle, this time the coin falls behind him. How can this happen? Both the bicycle and the train were in motion, but in the train, the coin landed in his hand, and on the bicycle, the coin fell behind him. Think about it and let me know your answer in the comments. Inside the train, Tom, and the air inside are all in the same motion. So when Tom threw the coin, it also had the same motion. That's why the coin landed in his hand. But when Tom threw the coin while riding the bicycle, the coin didn't have the same motion as Tom. It got the motion of the air, but it also experienced air resistance, which prevented it from moving forward, causing it to fall behind Tom. Wasn't that right? Let's move on to the next riddle.
In a jewelry shop, a diamond ring worth millions goes missing. The security guard apprehends a man, and the shop manager interrogates him.
Sir, this ring is mine. My wife gave it to me. Earlier, my wife used to wear this ring, and now I wear it.
And he shows a photo. In the photo, it is visible that the same ring was worn by his wife. Everyone believes that the man is telling the truth. However, the manager understands that the man is lying. Can you guess why, even though the same ring is shown in the photo worn by his wife, why does the manager believe that the man is lying? The man is lying because his wife has very slim fingers, while the man has thick fingers. The ring fits perfectly on both the wife's and the man's fingers. How is this possible? It means it's a different ring. He is the thief. Let's hop on to the next riddle. Harry and Carrie go to the doctor with their mother for a health checkup. The doctor measures both of their height, weight, and body temperature. Then the doctor goes into another room to take some medicines. When the doctor comes out, he finds an empty glass of juice on his table. He can't figure out who drank the juice, Harry or Carrie? Can you guess who drank the juice? Think about it, and let me know your answer in the comments. Just a while ago, the doctor had checked the weight of both Harry and Carrie. Now, the doctor checks their weight again, and Harry's weight is 100 grams more than before. This means Harry drank the juice. The doctor is very clever, so let's give him a like. Now, let's move on to the next riddle. Tom and Harry went to a restaurant to have coffee, but they only had enough money for one juice. So, they planned to share it. First, Tom drank half a glass of juice and then gave it to Harry. However, as soon as Harry drank the juice, he died. Now, can you tell me why nothing happened to Tom when there was poison in the juice? Let me know your answer in the comments. The poison was not in the juice, but in the ice cubes. When Tom drank the juice, the ice had not yet melted, but when Harry drank it, the ice had melted, releasing the poison. That's why he died. Let's move on to the next riddle. Harry takes 2 bottles that look the same. He fills one bottle with regular water and the other with hot water, and puts both bottles in the fridge. Jerry thinks that the regular water will cool down faster because the hot water needs to cool down first and then it fridge further. Are you thinking the same thing? Think carefully and share your answer with me in the comments. Actually, the hot water will cool down first because hot water has a lower density. This phenomenon is known as the Mpheba effect. Let's move on to the next riddle. Harry filled a glass with water and then placed a cardboard piece on top of it, and then turned the glass upside down. What do you think? Will the water spill out of the glass or not? Think carefully and let me your answer in the comments. water will not spill out of the glass at all. This cardboard has two types of pressure acting on it. One is the pressure coming from the water inside, and the other is the atmospheric pressure acting on the cardboard from the outside. Here, the atmospheric pressure is greater than the pressure inside, so the water won't spill out. You can try this experiment at home with paper as well, and the water won't spill out. Wasn't that interesting? Let's move on to the next puzzle. There were 4 constables at the police station. One day, Inspector George brought a basket with 4 mangoes. George had to give each constable 1 mango, but the challenge is, he also needed to ensure that 1 mango remained in the basket. How can this be done? Think about it and let me know your answer in the comments. Well, it's easy. George gives 1 mango to each of the first 3 constables, and the 4th constable gets the basket with 1 mango still inside it. That way, 1 mango remains in the basket. Let's move on to the next puzzle. John died at home due to electrocution. Detective Mehul is called to investigate the case. Mehul interrogated the servant.
Boss was getting ready for an ice-cold water bath in a large tub, when suddenly, an electrical wire placed above fell into the water. As soon as he put his foot in the water, he got an electric shock and he died.
Mehul quickly realizes that the servant is lying. Can you tell why Mehul believed the servant was lying? Think about it, and let me know your answer by commenting. Water is a poor conductor of electricity, but that's pure water. However, if water contains impurities or particles, it can conduct electricity. In cold water, there are minimal particles, making it a poor conductor. On the other hand, hot water can have more particle movement, making it a better conductor of electricity. There was cold ice water in the tub, so how could the Tom get an electric shock? Mehul understands this and apprehends the servant. The informant of the thief gang travels through the city and finds out which houses could be robbed. He sends 3 images to the thief gang. The leader of the thief gang carefully examines all 3 images and understands which houses should not be robbed. Can you tell by looking at these 3 images which houses should not be robbed? In the second house, there is a dog chain outside. This means there is a dog in this house, so the thief gang will not come to rob this house, because if you look closely, the dog appears to be big and dangerous. Let's hop on to the next riddle. At the age of 35, John qualified for the police sub-inspector's test and joined the police force. 2 days later, the deputy superintendent comes to the police station to congratulate John. DSP had never seen John before. There were 3 sub-inspectors standing there, all around the age of 35. Now, he is confused about which one is John among these 3. But the DSP is very sharp-minded, so he quickly figures out who is the John. But can you guess who is the John among these 3? Think about it and let me know your answer by commenting. To join the police force, passing a fitness test is required. John had joined the police force just 2 days ago, which means his fitness test would have been recent. And among the 3 sub-inspectors, the second man appears to be fit. That means he is John, while the other 2 men have protruding bellies. Let's hop on to the next riddle. Tom, John, and George all planned a tour of India and visited different places: Manali, Kashmir, and Rajasthan. Before going on each of these tours, they each take a selfie. Then, they depart on different trains. After 1 month, all 3 of them return and take another selfie. Now, no one knows who went where. Look at these before and after selfies. Can you figure out who went to Rajasthan? Tom, John, or George? Let me know your answer in the comments. Tom looks a bit tanned. And Manali and Kashmir are places where it's cold, so you don't get tan there. Tanning only happens in warm places. Among these 3 places, Rajasthan is the only warm place, so it means Tom went to Rajasthan. Let's see the next puzzle. A police officer comes home after many days. However, when he opens the door to his house, he finds 3 ladies inside. All 3 have the same height, the same weight, and they all have a scarf wrapped around their heads. The police officer is confused about which one is his wife. Can you carefully observe them and tell me which one is the police officer's wife? Think about it, and let me know your answer in the comments. Pay close attention, there is a photo on the wall of the police officer with his wife, in which his wife is holding a thread in her hand. And the second lady among the three also has a thread tied to her right hand. This means she must be the police officer's wife. The police officer understands this. This detective mind of the police officer certainly deserves appreciation. Let's move on to the next riddle. Krishna was the smartest student in the school. One day, a new teacher arrived at the school and asked Krishna a question to test his IQ level. The question was, Z-A-O-N, which one is the odd one out in these four? Krishna had to think about it. But can you figure out which one is the odd one out from Z-A-O-N? Think about it and let me know your answer in the comments. Excluding O, the other three alphabets are formed by 3 lines, but O doesn't have any lines, so it's the odd one out. Krishna gave the correct answer. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Mehul receives news that terrorists have arrived in the city. He immediately rushes there. His informant tells Mehul that one of the 3 houses in front has a terrorist hiding. Mehul observes all 3 houses carefully and figures out which house the terrorist is hiding in. But can you understand it? Think and observe closely, and let me know your answer in the comments. Pay close attention, in the third house, a woman on the balcony is drying her hair with a hairdryer, but the wire is unplugged. Mehul, with the help of the police, searches the area and captures the terrorist. Now, let's see the next one. There was a very special informant for the police who ran a small shop at a street corner. He always provided information to the police discreetly. One day, the police learned that the most wanted criminal, Dhamaka Singh, had been seen at that corner. At the intersection, there was a bus, a car, and a truck parked. The police went to their informant, who gave them 3 items, one by one. First, he gave them a black pen. Then, he gave them an umbrella, and finally, he gave them sugar. Now, these 3 items contain a clue about where the criminal is hiding in the truck, the bus, or the car. Think about it and share your answer with me in the comments. B for black pen, U for umbrella, and S for sugar. This means the criminal is in the bus. This indicates that the informant was telling the police that Dhamaka Singh is hiding in the bus. The police slowly approached the bus, Dhamaka Singh spotted them, and he jumped out of the window and fled. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Tom informs the police that he was walking with his 5 friends when a car came from behind and hit them, and the driver abandoned the car and fled. The police immediately arrive at the crime scene.
Tom, please tell me exactly what happened.
So Tom tells the police,
All of us were holding each other's hands, and we were walking on the road, that suddenly a car came from behind us at high speed and hit all of us.
The police quickly understand that Tom is lying. How? How did the police realize that Tom was lying? Tom and his 5 friends, a total of 6 people, walking hand in hand would require a lot of space on the road. In this scenario, a car coming from behind cannot hit all 6 people at once, it would only hit 2 or 3 at most. This means Tom's story is wrong and something is amiss. Let's move on to the next riddle. The teacher gave Sara 5 balls with numbers written on them, 8, 5, 6, 1, 4. Now, among these, 3 numbers sum is to equal 22. Teacher give this challenge to Sara. How can you add any 3 of these numbers to make it 22? Sara thinks about it. But can you figure out which 3 balls should be chosen from these 5 so that their sum is 22? These are the balls, and we can even rotate them. If we rotate 6 number ball, it becomes 9. Then, 9 plus 5 plus 8 equals 22. Sara solved this. Hit the like button for Sara's IQ. Let's see the next puzzle. It was a rainy night, and the police were chasing a very dangerous criminal. The criminal hides in the forest. The police conduct a search operation in the forest, and they find footprints of the criminal in one place. Can you tell me where the criminal is hiding? Carefully observe the entire scene and let me know your answer by commenting. Look at the leaves of the bushes in the background. These leaves are different from the others, and they are so large. Moreover, they are moving. When the police remove those leaves, they find the criminal hidden there. The police immediately caught him. Let's move on to the next puzzle. The first one says,
"She is not my mother."
and the second one says,
She is not my mother.
think about it and tell me whose mother she is, A's or B's. Let me know your answer in the comments. For more such